Hi, welcome. I'm Vickie, and this is the channel Living with Sjogren Syndrome. And today I wanted to show you all about the resilience teeter-totter. It's that thing that looks like this, right there. And this one shows like really balanced. So what I want to do is show it to you, the concept, and then show you what mine looks like today and take you through the process from getting from that teeter-totter to a plan, a doable plan that helps me to get my needs met, help me to walk through all the things that I go through or face, and accomplish some goals related to that, increased quality of life in a few different ways. So here we go. So this is what it looks like, the resilience teeter-totter. I've got stress factors over here on one side. This is the teeter-totter itself. I'm gonna right here, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's this straight skinny line going laterally from one side to the other, and then this triangle thing it's balancing on. So there's stress factors on one side. You don't have to use left or right for either of these. It's what works for you. And then protective factors on the right. Protective factors are abilities, provisions, and resources about yourself and that you have in your life or access to that help to meet your needs and wants. And of course, medical needs are included in that. And then on the other side, stress factors are unresolved concerns and unmet needs and stuff that stresses you out. Things that work against you to make life harder, make it harder to get what you need. And so then there's this part where it says notes. Some stress factors have greater negative impact. Some protective factors have greater impact to help meet your needs. To figure out your teeter-totter, ask yourself questions and give yourself honest answers. List things that work against you on one side and keep those simple. List the things that work for you on the other side and try to keep those simple too. List ways that you might be able to use your protective factors to help meet your needs and to lower your burdens or the stressful things, stress factors. Also, list ways that you might be able to build up your protective factors, the helpful things. And make these things that you could do into doable goals, and keep them simple and small so that you don't give up. And then also the last one is expect the process will take time, in some cases years, not necessarily years to make progress, but maybe years to reach the kind of process or progress that you would like. So let's come down to stress factors. Here we've got our teeter-totter balancing on this tripod thing, triangle, and it's one side's all the way up in the air, the other side's all the way down on the bottom, and on this side where the arrow is, stress factors are overwhelming the protective factors and making it really hard, or in some cases impossible, to meet your needs and get what you want or need. And then on this side, protective factors, are all the way down here on the ground, and the stress factors are up here in the air. The protective factors are helping you more to meet and get what you want. Both of these are extreme examples. So usually most people, jeepers, I think they're about like this. With if the ground was here, There's a little bit of room in there, a little bit more room up here to grow. So this is protective factors and stress factors. Here's what my teeter-totter looks like right now. Yeah. So it's not completely balanced. My stress factors are definitely overwhelming, you know, and totaling having more impact than my protective factors. But, you know, it's improved a lot. It's improved a lot from being this way to going this way. And this could change and fluctuate at any time based on new problems. So I listed my stress factors that are over here. Stress factors: an active and aggressive chronic illness, debilitating symptoms, strong medications with side effects, limited social interaction, slowed thinking, memory issues, increased self-care needs, increased medical care costs / needs, dietary cravings, mental health challenges. So I tried to keep the statement simple and more general, kind of, because if I try to attack every single little issue, I'm just going to get lost in it all and probably overwhelmed and discouraged. So then my protective factors are here: nursing education and nursing work history. That helps me as a patient. I'm patient with myself. I love and have compassion for others. I have a mental health provider. I have a general provider and a rheumatologist. I have 2 very close friends. A close relationship with family and my kids. A happy marriage. I have enjoyable hobbies. I have faith in God. All right, so stress factors, protective factors. Now my 5 goals. I looked at my stress factors and decided, well, what can I change here? What's changeable? And what can I use on my strengths, protective factors, to help me achieve goals? I'm going to explain that right now. We've got 3 circles. One big circle here. Got another circle on the inside of that. And then you've got an even smaller circle right here. Let's say this is me, my little world right here. I'm going to put me in this little circle in the middle. My concerns in this big outer circle. So what's between me and my concerns? What I can influence. Put my influence. I think I spelled it right. I'm not sure. My influence. My concerns, me. So my concerns go all the way from here to here. What I can influence out of these concerns, what I can have some influence over, goes from here to here. Now, what I can absolutely control, what I have absolute control over, is just right here. Me, myself, and I. And that's it. The only thing I can control in life at all is my choices. But I have influence. Out of all these concerns, I do have some influence. And then beyond that, I have no control and very little to no influence. So in order to figure out what those things are, these things, these influence and this control, we just start filling in the circle. So what I did was I started with my concerns. you might want to just write 5 things, starting from what's most imminently on your mind, which you could change right this minute if you could, and which is most on your heart. For me, family bonds / relationships. I'm far away from family. So that's 1. 2, my Sjogrens. Worsening. Med side effects. Symptoms. Like this one's really heavy. All right, so I have 2 big main things in these concerns. Then we go to what I can influence. Out of these concerns, what do I have some influence over? Family bonds. Maybe Sjogren's worsening, maybe. Not much over med side effects. I may have a teeny bit, a little control over that, a little influence, I mean, over that. My symptoms, a little, I would say I have a little influence over that. And then what about me? What can I absolutely control? My choices. Seeking out family, making phone calls and text messages, showing them I love them. You know, I can do Marco Polos, I can do things like that, and choose to go visit them, you know, when it's not in the dead of winter and roads are bad, etc. My Sjogrens, what can I control? Well, I can control my response to it, right? My attitude, choosing to grieve when I need to, choosing to give myself the time that I need, prayer for healing. Med side effects. What do I have control over with there? Well, certainly whether I take the medication, right? How I take the medication. And then symptoms, dietary choices. I have influence over those symptoms, certainly, because, you know, I can change my diet. I can communicate with my provider. If they're really bad, perhaps I can take a, what do you call it, a taper, a prednisone taper. Do a lot more resting. I can make choices. And that's all I can do to control it. So using this like wheel or circle of influence, I take that and I come back over into here to my goals. And I go, G, active and aggressive chronic illness. What can I use over here? My nursing education for taking care of myself, understanding things, be patient with myself, because this active, aggressive illness is going to cause me issues where I can't just jump up and do things. Love and compassion for others. I can access that a little more to be patient with myself and patient with others who just don't understand this. It's hard, but I can. Let's see, I have a mental health provider. That helps. I can communicate. I have general provider and rheumatologist. That helps, so I can communicate. I have 2 very close friends. Listen, if I'm really down and aggravated or frustrated, having a hard time, I can call them and they'll be listeners, or text them, and they will also lift me in prayer, just give me some support. Close relationships with family and kids. I can, you know, if I'm down, I can Marco Polo with them and watch their Marco Polos a few times, and that brightens my day. Look at pictures of them. Happy marriage. That is a very huge support factor. Have enjoyable hobbies. Now that helps a lot, although how much of that can you really do if you have a day a full, complete rest where you just need to be in bed. Or you're so exhausted that you can't even sit up in bed. You just need to lay down and rest throughout the day. So that might need tweaking there. Faith in God, prayer. So what have I done? I'm looking up recipes. I'm reading and rereading comments on the channel that other people who've been successfully able to change their diet, things that they've recommended. Let's see, the doable recipes, find alternative activities for sick days. Yes, I have. One thing I've done is downloaded audiobooks. Devote more time to self-care. I have to cut other things out. So I've written down some of the self-care things I need to do and to do more of them, and I've given myself a schedule and cut myself some slack. Looking for other ways to look at a situation other than just a negative point of view, and doing it from a truth. Maybe I can't find something like my phone and I've misplaced it for the umpteenth zillionth time. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I am so stupid, I'm so dumb, how many freaking times do I do this every day? Instead of doing that to myself, I would say, it's really hard for me to keep track of my phone. I've got an illness, I've got all these things I'm dealing with, I'm fatigued. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that the information was helpful. There will be links in the description box for other resources. There's a book that you can buy on Amazon about resilience. It's the Resilience Workbook. I downloaded it on my Kindle. That was $16. The book is $28 or $29, but the audio book is free. Yeah, and so you can find other references in the description box. Thank you. I wish you well today. I hope you stay well.